Hello everyone, welcome once again to my educational channel on research, and this is going to be educational research part 2. I am happy over the overwhelming response which I got for my last video, and thank you so much for listening to it and studying it. Now this time we will be going a little bit further. Last time I had already covered you what is research, what are the types of research, and it was done only as a brief introduction. This time I will be telling you about the relationship between the basic research and the applied research. I will also be talking about the action research in detail. We will also cover the comparison between these two main type of researches, and I plan to complete the research steps also today. We will now start with the relationship between the basic and the applied research. As you know, last time I have already told you what is basic research and what is applied research. So we all know that basic research provides a theory that produces the concepts for solving educational problems, whereas the applied research provides the data to help support, guide and revise the development theory. Doing basic research ensures that applied researchers do not need to reinvent the wheel every time they start on a new project, because the groundwork has already been done. So to help you understand better the relationship between the basic research and the applied research, I would like to give you an example. For example, you can say on the basis of the pure researches described earlier, such as Pavlov's research, Skinner's research, Hurl's experiments, which were done on animals. But a researcher in education now can conduct investigations on the effect of conditioning, reinforcement, learning, practice, trial and error, insight, etc. on human beings, and develop knowledge that has direct relevance to classroom practices. Thus, applied research has a direct and immediate impact on educational and administrative practices and procedures. Hence, its methodology is also not so rigorous as compared to pure research. Its primary purpose is to solve an immediate, specific, practical problem, and the goal of development of new theories is secondary. So now we will see how we can compare these two type of researches, that is the basic research and the applied research. So there are certain distinctions which have to be kept in mind when you are studying these researches. The basic research, as you know, is domain driven. It is intended to in such a manner that it should lead to a development of a theory, whereas the applied research is intended to solve a practical problem. The second main point you'll have to keep in mind is it is justified in terms of gaining knowledge for the sake of knowledge. The basic research, it focuses on making the things better and creating a more humane society, whereas in the applied research, it is designed to solve the practical problems of a modern world. The main motivation of the basic research is to expand man's knowledge, and in applied research you can see that it takes the results of the basic research further. Basic research is analytic in nature, whereas the applied research is synthetic in nature. The basic research involves a search for enduring or general truths. The applied research is a search for pragmatic solutions to particular problems. The basic research is exploratory in nature, whereas the applied research is a pursuit of social concerns. It arises out of demands. The basic research is directed towards finding information that has broad base of applications, whereas the applied research, the central aim is to discover a solution for some pressing problem. There is no commercial value attached to the discoveries that result from a basic research, but there is a commercial value for applied research. Example, research to improve agricultural practices, or even you say market researches, etc. They all have some commercial values. So now we will see action research. What is the meaning of action research? Action research is also applied research. It is normally associated with the hands-on small-scale research projects. It is also known as decision-oriented research, since it necessitates that the researcher is the same person as the practitioner who will make and implement the decision based on the findings of the action research. It is concerned with those practical issues, problems, events, concerns that occur in the school, and these are conducted by the teachers, the principals, which arise as a routine part of the activities in their real world of teaching. So it applies the scientific methods to the problems, and then they come to the solution of their daily school or college problems. So this is action research. So we can define action research as a systematic inquiry done by teachers or any individuals in an educational setting to gather information about and subsequently improve the ways their particular educational setting operates, how they teach, and how well their students learn. Action research also can be classified into two types. One is participatory action research and a practical action research. So in a participatory action research, you can see that the social issues are studied that constrain individual lives. Participatory research also emphasizes on equal collaboration between the two, and it also focuses on life enhancing changes. Now, whereas in a practical kind of action research, it studies the local practices involving individual or team-based inquiries. It focuses on the teacher development and student learning, and it also focuses on implementing a plan of action leading to the teacher as a researcher. So now with the help of this diagram, you can see how research is classified into three major types. One is the fundamental research, the basic or the pure research, which is shown in a different sphere altogether because it is a pure kind of research, and the findings or the whatever are developed through this research come out as theories or laws. And then you can see the applied research, and in that itself a small circle of action research is shown because I explained you earlier that action research is a kind of applied research itself. So now, having studied the research and its types and various other things, we can come to what is educational research. As you all have seen that educational research also comes under the category of applied research. Educational research refers to the systematic collection and analysis of data related to the field of education. This research may involve a variety of methods. This research may involve various aspects of education, including student learning, teaching methods, teacher training, and classroom dynamics. Now we can discuss what are the needs of educational research. So as we all know, we are all in the field of education, so we can easily tell the need ourselves. What is the need of educational research in our own field? As we know that today the education is child-centered, and it aims at the all-round development of the personality of the child, and it is also one of the main goals of education. The educational research is needed to solve the various problems related to the measurement, evaluation, and development in these fields. Therefore, the need of educational research. So, in this way, we see that as education is both the science and art. As a science, it is based on theories, laws, and principle, and as an art, it is an activity, and it has an application which requires skills and training. In order to make an effective application of the laws and principles and to provide training in skills and techniques, educational research is much needed today. So educational research is one of the significant moves to improve the art of teaching, to make the students learn effectively. Also, one more need of educational research which we have to mention here is the advancement that the material world has made today. it has given rise to a number of problems like terrorism, clashes in this modern world. Education is a process of socialization which can meet this challenge, and the increasing need of education in this field. So, a continuous research in education is needed to solve this kind of complex and social problems. We will now see what is the meaning of paradigms of research. A paradigm is an intellectual window through which the researcher views the world, through the concepts, assumptions, etc. The researcher tries to view the social world objectively. However, since the concepts, assumptions, categories, values, or paradigms differ, two researchers studying the same problem by adopting different paradigms may give rise to different findings. The interpretations of the researcher will therefore depend on his assumptions or values. In the field of educational research, there are two major paradigms: the quantitative paradigm and the qualitative paradigm. In recent years, there is one more paradigm, that is the analytical paradigm. The empirical research paradigm is further divided into three types of research: qualitative research, quantitative research, and interpretative research. The qualitative research is made up of researches concerned with ethnographic researches, case studies, or ground theories. The quantitative researches includes true experimental kind of researches, pre-experimental type of researches, quasi-experimental type of researches. And also we have the surveys, correlational and causal comparative researches. In the interpretative type of research, we have the historical researches, concept analysis type, and the content analysis researches. Now we can come to the steps of research. While conducting any research, we have to follow certain steps, and these steps are the problem identification, the review of related literature, the statement of aims, objectives, and hypotheses, then selecting the research design, then selecting the tools, then collecting the data, the scoring, coding, and analysis of data, the interpretation of the findings, and the report writing or reporting and evaluating the research. The research process cycle. You can see, as we have seen, the steps of research, in that it begins with identifying of the research problem. Like, we need to know what is the problem and why do we need to study it. Then after that, the second step is reviewing the literature. We have to review the different kind of research literature based on the concerned problem that we are studying. So there will be a different sources of researches which we will be studying. Then you come to the next step, that is the purpose or the research design or methodology. Here we have to narrow down the research questions, or we have to form the hypothesis. Then you come to the step 4, that is a collection of data, wherein we have to see what study groups, control groups, treatment, depending on the type of research, method of research that we are going to follow. And then we go to the analysis and interpretation of data, that is breaking down of the data, depicting data, and explaining the collected information or data. And the last step will be reporting and evaluating the research. So friends, now we've come to the last portion of today's lecture, that is the characteristics of research. After going through all these aspects of research, the meaning and concept of research, the different types of research, now we can easily find out what are the characteristics of research. So Gary Anderson outlined 10 aspects of research. That is, even you can say now that research attempts to solve a problem. Research is based on observable experience or empirical evidence. Research generally employs carefully designed procedures and rigorous analysis. So we have seen the process of research. Today we have studied the steps of research and we have studied the types of research according to purpose and methods. Thank you.